You know, a lot of people have been talking about, the National Guard need to come in cities like Chicago, St. Louis, certain other parts, Cleveland, wherever else. A lot of different cities are talking about this. Um, hell, maybe one part talking. So hell, I don't know. I just know that a lot of people have said, well, a lot of people in the hood or whatever, the communities will say, "Oh, Chirac this, Chirac that." And if you've never been to Chicago, you probably don't want to say too much about it, and especially if you don't live there. If you've never been, then it's kind of crazy. Especially if you haven't been to those areas. Now, me, I've been there. I've been to Chicago several times. I've been to the South Side. I've been to the West Side. Over there by the United Center. I have a cousin that stayed in that high-rise building next to the United Center back in the '90s. I don't know if that's still there. Of course, I was there a couple of years back. Is that high-rise still in Chicago? If it is, hey, let me know. Right next to the United Center. Anybody who's there knows what I'm talking about. It may be gone now, but anyway, um, the National Guard being in the community. If the National Guard is in the community, then what's it going to look like? Is it going to be a tank out there? Are you going to have soldiers walking around? How would that look? Some people say it's embarrassing. Well, I tell you what. What's embarrassing is knowing that when you come out of your house, you have to worry about, something going down. You have to worry about leaving your house at a certain time of night. You have to be worried because you're scared to go to the gas station after a certain time or when it's dark out because you're worried about something happening. What's embarrassing is knowing that you don't want to send your kids to the park because you're afraid they're going to get hit by a stray bullet. What's embarrassing is knowing that you're scared when your kid walks home from school because you don't want any of the quote unquote gang violence to overtake them. Now, don't get me wrong, it's really just a handful of individuals that's doing a lot of this damage. It's not everybody in the hood. Most people in what you call the hood are people that work hard, people that want to do better for themselves. People that, good natured people at heart. I know this. I know this. I've been there. I deal with it. So, anybody who doesn't know that, hey, they just don't know. And really, you need to shut the fuck up about this situation, especially if you're not black and you don't care and you look at us in a condescending tone. Go talk about something else. Now, for our people, talking to you, the National Guard in the community. Um, I don't know if it, like I said, the stuff that's going on is way more embarrassing than what they're saying. They're embarrassed about just knowing that they're there. So this is why when I hear about groups like the Fruit of Islam, and I've seen them, where I'm at, I've seen them walk around to different communities, and particularly the black communities, and talk to the people and speak and try to inspire, and people just love their presence. People love their presence when they're there. So it's a beautiful thing. So I must commend the Minister Farrakhan for what he's done. I have to commend the brother. He's done some awesome things. Now, you may have whatever issues you have with the Nation of Islam. Hey, let's look past that. Let's think about some of the great works that he's done. This man is 80 years old. You cannot expect one man that's 80 years old to do everything anyway. Maybe he could use more soldiers. If you don't want to join that movement, do something else. But do something to help. Okay? So I think that's important. Now, if you don't get the National Guard involved, a lot of times these things are going to continue to go on. And think about the Detroit 300. Let's just talk about them policing the community, the Black Panthers. Now, there are some people outside of the community that love to see the destruction. Think about what I said in COINTELHOS. There are people that love to see this black destruction and lack of unity and lack of peace and lack of love. So you had the government using certain stool pigeons within the Panther Party. They placed them in there, the plants and things like that, helped take the organization down. You had some sisters complaining about the Detroit 300, which were a group of black men who wanted to help clean the streets up of Detroit. I thought it was a great cause. They were out there doing something, and you had some people wanting to stop it. Now you stop that, and guess what? The bullshit keeps going. So something goes down, and especially if that happens to you, whoever worked to stop it, is anybody really going to feel sorry for you like that? But then again, there's no telling what else could have went on. But it's just that when that happens, that's not a good look. I mean, we have so much stuff that we're dealing with, you know. So that's something to consider. Now, bringing in the National Guard, like I said, if you don't bring them in, something has to be done. And I'm gonna tell you this: going to church, praying every Sunday, that shit's been done for so many years it hasn't worked. You know, you pray on your knees, nothing's gonna happen. You got to get up and pray with your goddamn feet. So if you're not getting out there putting in work, don't talk about Jesus and you're not doing what he did. If Jesus was around, first off, a lot of you would not even like him because the Jesus work I see in some people that are walking this earth right now. Jesus would have done what the Detroit 300 attempted to do, or what they're attempting to do. Jesus would have done what the Fruit of Islam is doing. Jesus would have done what the Black Panthers are doing. Jesus would have done what some of these activists who are out here that we just don't know about are doing. So I'm not going to sit here and say that nobody's doing things. You have people in the community that is trying to do things, but they just need more people to help and assist. And if you don't understand that, then you're going to believe, you cannot believe the same television that deceives you. You know they're lying about you and your people, and now you're going to let them lie to you and your people about what people aren't doing. Come on now, that's insane. So you can't. So just because you don't see it on the television doesn't mean it's not going on. Now we did happen to hear about the Detroit 300, and trust me, they didn't want that to be known. What if there was a 300 in every state in the United States, particularly where we were? That would be a great thing. So once again, if not the National Guard, it has to be something. But what's going on now, and people talking about certain hoods like that shit is cool. That's not. Something has to be done. Because guess what? You run to a community of people that don't have them problems. They don't want to be around you. When they leave, the shit comes back to what it is. Think about gentrification that goes on in every city. You run to the suburbs. And those people who just don't want nobody black around them, period, leave. And then others leave. And then those others that you thought you were getting away from come out to the suburbs with you because they've gentrified the city. And now the bullshit done traveled out their way. Now what you're going to do? Brothers and sisters, communities are not moved into, they are built. You have to build your community. You build your community, establish certain things, have these community meetings, demand certain things happen. We have to unify. If not, the shit that's going on is just going to continue to go on. And we have to hold up a mirror and say, hey, this is your fault. We know we're dealing with heathens out here that want to keep us down. You can't wait on the heathen to change. You can't wait on the racist heathen to change. You have to make that change. Because you already know what you're dealing with.